Hi, I'm Tom Marks with the Marks Law Firm in Orlando, and today I have a really special guest, someone I've known for over 30 years, Mike Hodes. He has been in the corporate world for about 40 years. He has been a coach, a leader, a mentor. He has grown businesses. He is one of my go-to mentors. I mean, he knows his stuff. He has wise counsel, sage advice. So I'm thrilled to have Mike on the channel today. And I have to say a shout out to his wife, Lisa, because otherwise I might get in a little trouble. But hey, Mike, how are you?
I'm good, Tom. How are you?
I'm doing great. And I thank you so much for being on the channel. And is there anything you'd want to say about yourself before we get started?
Well, God blessed me with a skill set, and I was able to use it to grow people and use God's principles to run various businesses. And as I grew people through using God's roadmap, the companies grew and flourished, in some cases, unbelievably so.
Well, I think and that's great. I think it's possible too for family law clients to grow through the process because, you know, they're at a super low time in their life. And when you're really that low, what direction do you have to really look up? And that's up. So what advice would you give family law clients going through a difficult divorce?
Yeah. Well, as you know, I came from a family, and my mother was married 4 times. So I understand the pain of divorce from the aspect of being a child in that, first young and then as an adult. But I think the biggest piece of advice I could give someone going through this terrible time would be do the next right thing. And if you think about what that means is, you know, maybe you had a meeting over the weekend and it didn't go so well, and maybe you were silly and a jerk. You can't change that. You can't even change 8 o'clock this morning, but you could change lunchtime, tomorrow. So do the next right thing. And it's okay. We all make mistakes, but if you do the next right thing, what happens is you go through the time continuum, you look back and you go, wow, that went well, that went well. So all of a sudden you build a different course of doing the next right thing and building into your children, your ex, you know, into the situation. So do the next right thing.
All right. That's great advice. So Mike, I know you have helped a number of people going through a divorce. So tell us a little bit about what that was like and what you were able to offer those who were going through that difficult time.
Well, I think the common thread through a lot of these situations has been people going through this tragedy. They inwardly focus. They focus on themselves, on only their situation. And that is like drinking poison. What you need to do, and it's counterintuitive, you know, but you need to reach out. You need to have some friends and understand so many times you're going to think, well, so-and-so thinks this about me. Well, I would tell you that many times it's not about you. And so they don't think that. So if you can do it, and again, it's hard to do, but outwardly focused, meet with some friends, with some safe people. And some people will write you off and disown you, but a lot of them won't, because you know what? They've been through these tragedies. So reach out, outwardly focused, you know, and try to understand that it's not about you, but it feels like it is. So that would be my advice. And it's so hard, but don't think that people are judging you, because a lot of times they're not. And they just, you know, a shared sorrow is half a sorrow. And you've got to outwardly focus and get moving, because if you don't, you'll get stuck. And then when you're stuck, then life becomes miserable and you just endure each day. And that doesn't help anybody.
Right, right. And I think that's great advice. I always say that I believe your family matters. And so I want to provide hope and help to your family to successfully navigate the family law process in a healthy way. So these things you're talking about, Mike, fit into that mold perfectly to help families to navigate these situations. So, Mike, what are some of the ideas you have or recommendations for someone going through a divorce that they could engage in self-care?
Sure. Well, first off, I really would commend you and your team, because I know for a fact that your first goal in most of these engagements that you have with clients is that you try to get people to reconcile through counseling and healing. And I think that's very important, and I think it's very unusual. But I think, to answer your question, what I like to do is I like to ask people to tell me about their four legs on their chair of life. And basically what you have is a chair, and you have somebody sitting on it. And that can be you and your family, your children. But for me, my four legs are God, my family, my job, and my hobbies. And the goal is to try to get every leg about the same length. If you think about it, good word picture, sit on a chair with only one long leg. You can't do it very long. Two legs, a little bit. Three legs, much better, but four legs. Generally, what I see people struggling with in this situation, or in the loss of a child even, is they'll be stuck on one long leg, like your job. I'm a recovering workaholic. And so my leg, my job leg was super long. And for a while, it's okay. But what you really have to do is purposefully say, okay, I'm going to have four legs. And it can be different for everybody. But again, for me, it was God, my family, my job, and my hobbies. And so draw a little stick figure, draw four little legs, and I challenge you to put what's on those four legs. And if there's only one leg, that tells you need to get working on those other three legs. So I think balance is the key, though it's really hard when you're going through these tough situations. But again, it's easy to say, hard to do, but I would encourage you, what's on your four legs?
Well, I think that's great advice too. And, for me, I have those four legs too: God, family, job. And instead of hobbies, I might say passion. I think most people who know me know that I love avocados, avocado trees, kind of a passion of mine. I have 25 avocado trees in my yard, which is kind of crazy, but it's therapeutic and it gets me outdoors and fresh air and doing something I love. So it's very healthy and stress relieving. And that's what family law clients need.
Sure. Hard to do, but it doesn't cost anything either. Think about it. You're just out there working in God's paradise. So,
yeah. So enjoy that thoroughly. All right. So I ask every guest on my channel to give our viewers a healthy tip. Do you have a healthy tip for us today?
You bet I do. And I guess what I would say to folks watching this is don't be too hard on yourself. I think so many times we beat ourselves up, and if you think about it, at the end of the day, there's enough people out there wanting to beat you up. And when you have negative thoughts and you're saying, well, I should have done this or I could have done that, don't be so hard on yourself. Each day is a gift. And, if you think about it, take a Publix bag and put, 2,000 days in there. Who knows how long we're going to live? And each day you take out a day. Each day you reach in the bag and you take out a day and you say, okay, today, this is a gift. How am I going to spend it? And at the end of the day, it's gone. And so my advice to anybody would be, stop being so hard on yourself. Take each day as a special gift. And if you can do it, choose joy. Even through bad situations, choose joy. And you can get into Proverbs. The Bible has tremendous wisdom about choosing joy. in the midst of all kinds of pain and agony. Happiness is kind of an emotion, but joy is a true internal thing. And so don't be too hard on yourself. There's enough people that want to be.
Yeah.
So, you know what I know.
Okay. Well, Mike, that is so good. Thank you so much for that. So for our viewers, I really encourage you to share this video. If you'd like to, go ahead and hit that like button, but be sure to subscribe to the channel and leave a comment below. If you have a question for Mike or for me, or a comment, or if there's a future video or a guest you'd like to see me have on the channel, just put that in the comment section below. All right. Well, Mike, you're the best. Thanks for being on the channel today.
Thanks, Tom.
Okay. And we will see everybody next time. Thanks. Bye-bye.